Hello and welcome. It's 8 a.m. by the clock, so it's time for the Breakfast Club. I hope all of you are excited for this TGIF segment that we've got for you. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor in Mumbai.
And I'm Toya Singh joining you live from Delhi. We've got an action-packed show today ahead of us. Let's take a look first at everything we have. Are you tired of your ex? Are you mad at your boss? Are you going red with rage? Enter the rage room. From throwing axes to smashing computers, anger rooms are all the rage in India. Rage rooms help you let off your steam. You can smash away at all of your stress, and you won't believe how angry you really are until you visit the rage room.
What's in a clay pot? Well, Ghatam Suresh Vaidyanathan joins us on TBC. He's globalizing the soul katu style. We'll speak to him for a very, very special chat right here on The Breakfast Club.
And now to the scorching heat wave we're all having to deal with on TBC. We're going to get you a summer special drink, Bel Ka Sharbat. You can make this at home, and Chef Sneha Singh Upadhyay is going to teach you exactly how.
And thank God it's Friday. What's on the silver screen? Must-watch releases if you just want to sit at home and watch on OTT. You have plans, don't have plans? Well, we've made an itinerary for you.
And we like to keep you updated with every sphere in the sports world. RCB Royal Challengers Bangalore versus Mumbai Indians. The highlights from last night. The all-round batting masterclass we got from Mumbai Indians. Mumbai Indians' dominant 7-wicket win over RCB. What led to it? Which players performed incredibly? We're going to bring you all of that and more.
And did you know that India has the second largest number of online gamers in the world? Well, we'll bring you these visuals of the Prime Minister also interacting with the top gamers in India. He even tried his hand at the video games.
There's a release that comes after what you do inside a specific room. You're going to tell us a little bit more, Sonal, after this. First, let's just show our audiences what you brought us. This incredible journey into a specific place in Mumbai where you can go and change your emotions entirely. Take a look.
What do you do when you're really mad in life? Some people go for a run, some go for a swim, some call up their best friend. But some do this. Feeling red with rage? There is now a room for you. It's simply called the Rage Room. All you have to do is get up and smash the stress to your heart's content. You can unleash your inner Hulk and smash almost anything to bits. Beer bottles, glasses, mugs, bowls, tube lights, and even TV. Basically everything except human beings, of course. Tada! How did you enjoy this?
That was a really fun experience. My girlfriend's rage was clearly a very good thing to watch, and I now know what I shouldn't do.
How did it feel?
Amazing. Nothing better than a week of frustration coming out like this.
You're sweating all over. What were you thinking when you were smashing it?
Toughest problems. No better therapy than this.
What were you thinking when you were smashing?
एग्ज़ाम आ रहे तो फ्रस्ट्रेशन था वो निकालना था तो आ गया मज़ा आ गया फ्रस्ट्रेशन सारा निकल गया एंजॉइंग अ लॉट
Sydney is the manager of the Rage Room. So Somesh, firstly tell me what kind of people come here generally?
So all sort of people come here. Basically, some come here for fun, some come here, after breakup to remove their frustration, vent out their anger.
Yeah.
Yes, some come here with family, some come here with their colleagues, so for fun and just try out something new.
To take out the work stress.
Yes,
हाँ,
obviously.
बॉस से भरे बैठे हैं रेंज रूम चलते हैं. But do men come more than women, or how does it work?
Yes, so basically I was surprised to see that 80% of our customer are women and 20%
Oh
are men.
wow, 80% are women.
Yes.
That's something to think about. But you were telling me there are birthday parties also that get organized here?
Oh yes, so on our website we have an option of birthday decoration. You just have to pay extra 500 rupees and we'll make your birthday special.
Right, so it will be quite a raging birthday then, yeah, right?
Yes.
The experience at the Rage Room is simple yet exhilarating. You can smash and scream all you like, but remember, it will not solve your underlying issues. If you want a healthy, happy life, so guys, go watch The Breakfast Club. It's known to bring a smile to your face. For now, with camera person Manas and Kalpesh, this is Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor, signing off.
That was the coolest. Sonal, I have to ask you, tell us, what were you thinking when you were smashing all of those bottles?
Well, I'll tell you, maybe in the ad break, not a good idea to be revealing all this on national television. But the idea of the Rage Room is not new. It started in Japan, and quite interesting, no? Japan, the land of Zen gardens, minimalism, and all of it also is the land of rage rooms.
Indeed. In fact, the Rage Room concept first originated, if we take you back to around 2008, and the goal was, let's provide stressed out workers who are doing these 9 to 5, sometimes 9 to 10 p.m. jobs. They need an outlet for their frustrations. And maybe it's the simplicity of the idea. You're going into a room, you're smashing something, combined with the pressures of just everyday modern life. Smash Rage Rooms starting to pop up everywhere across the entire world.
And as a concept done right, it's replicable, right? And the franchisable as well. So perhaps it's not a surprise that now you have a number of them emerging here in India as well. So we thought we'll talk to the woman who has brought Rage Room to India. Let's welcome Ananya Shetty on the program now. Ananya, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us on The Breakfast Club. I first want to say that I really had a fab experience going into the Rage Room and understanding it. But tell us, what made you think of the Rage Room?
So the concept came about from my journey in mental health. In the last 5 years, especially in IIT Madras, I was working on a suicide prevention platform that did not work out due to pandemic. But then I was in the field, taking care of the latest updates and things like that. And one fine night, it just came to me, and I decided to see that to make it happen because people needed it. A lot of people in the online forums on Twitter, on Reddit, were saying that they want a place in Bangalore. So I decided to do it more as an experiment. And when I realized the relief typified right, the kind of fun experience they were having, I decided to take it pan India. So it's in Mumbai and we are opening in Delhi next month.
Nice. Can we take a little bit of a deep dive into you? How did an IITian end up making the Rage Room concept here in India?
No, definitely not. So I did not study engineering, I studied science.
Okay.
And I went into digital marketing field because that was my passion. I love the idea of making people see things, to the idea of creating craft with words. And so I was in the marketing field for a long time, and this was more of a natural progression in my career.
Right. But Ananya, tell us, very interesting insight came out of that experience. We got to know that there are more women than men who actually visit these outlets. Do you have an insight into why that happens?
So there are two reasons. One is women are suppressed a lot. You're expected to behave in a certain way in front of everyone. You're expected to be polite, to show your emotions again. But then there is a lot more pressure and more pain because of our hormonal cycles. So we have a lot of pent up rage within that we don't really let out.
That's true.
And this is a safe, no judgment zone. And I think men find it comfortable to get let it all out. And the
I
second reason is women by default are more experimentative than men. They
right.
like trying new things, they like exploring and just having fun and adventure.
True.
So they come over. And men are more secluded and quiet in general. And they take out anger in public. They don't need a place like this.
Wow, I love those answers. Can you also tell us any fun anecdotes, fun stories that you've seen in the last few years of running these spaces?
Yeah, so people usually come for birthday party and for anniversary celebration when they want to make like a super memorable event. And this is a very unique thing that is not there anywhere else in India. It's very niche and localized. So this is like once in a lifetime experience for most of the people to just get to have fun and just break things randomly. And there are a lot of bloopers as well where they try to break but it doesn't break. So that creates a lot of laughter and fun.
True, true. But Ananya, I want to know, have you ever used the range room? And if yes, what got you there? What was the trigger?
Yeah, I have used it a couple of times, but all of them came not when I was angry, but when I was sad, when I was deeply in pain. It was more of a good way to vent out my frustration. For example, there was this one time when some random stranger assaulted me, and I couldn't let out my frustration that time. But in the regular, it was a safe place to get vent it all out.
Can I ask, you've been in the mental health space. This is obviously a cathartic release for anyone who's going inside. But does it actually help?
Yes, so there is a general consensus saying that scientific research does not support it. But that is not true because from what we have known and observed, if it is done in a safe way, it encourages a cathartic release. And there are several scientific papers that have been published about the benefit of a cathartic release. When you are holding up emotions within, it just boils over, and you end up displaying microaggression towards people. This helps in reducing that. But if you use religion as an act of violence, then no, that is not good for you. But most of the people who come to us, they come to just let out their frustrations and get that awareness. There are many steps in healing from the and the first step is to know that yes, I'm angry or yes, I'm in pain so that you can seek help. And this is the first step in creating that awareness.
Thank you so much, Ananya, for joining us and also bringing this initiative to the country. As you told us, it's already there in a few cities. There are other versions also of this that are there in many different cities across the countries. TBC family, you can Google it. Okay, as you were telling us, Ananya, this concept does have a deeper meaning too. And anger stemming from anxiety, from stress, is just how we manage things. Sonal, do you want to tell us more?
Yeah, I mean, it's all fun and games at start, right? But what we need to understand with the Rage Room story is that it's beyond that. It's about anger stemming from anxiety, going to stress. And it's just, how our modern day life is these days. So let's get a professional medical opinion on this. Dr. Shetty is a psychiatrist at Dr. Hiranandani Hospital here in Mumbai, and I want to bring him down the program. Good morning, Dr. Shetty. Lovely to have you here on the Breakfast Club.
Morning.
The mood here,
Morning, Sonal.
the mood here in the studio is not of rage, but is one of understanding rage. So we want to get a professional view here and say that is cathartic release, now we know it's important, but how important is having this release of emotions?
Cathartic release is extremely important, and maybe in this angst-driven world, the importance is much more. But what I advise people is express early, lest you explode later. Catharsis is an expression of feelings, probably associated with thoughts. But breaking things is not catharsis, that is violence. So these centers which has started probably helps a lot of people to find a space, a safe space wherein they can actually express. Again, critical is that one should understand that there are different ways of managing aggression. Anger needs to be destigmatized. Pure anger is love, but there are many ways to manage aggression, and that is exercise dissolves fears, tears and anger. Pranayam and Vipassana can dissolve fears, tears and anger. But in this angst-driven world, when we have no time to meet people, emotional contact time being very, very less, it is also important to have a catharsis with your counselor, with your psychologist, or probably a room which is guided by a mental health professional.
Yeah.
Doctor, can you tell us how...
We need to also look at one important...
No, go ahead, doctor, please.
Yes, I think we need to understand that we should not choose everybody to have an expression of catharsis. We need to find out where they come from. What is the state? Is it agitation, which is related to stress and close to depression? Is it extreme problems with close relatives and stories? Sometimes repair of the stories are more important than cathartic experience.
True. True.
Doctor, can you also tell us a little bit about the breakdown here? How does unmanaged stress lead to anger? What's happening in our bodies, in our minds?
Absolutely. In fact, at workplace, at home, and with families, sometimes there are issues which cannot be resolved because there's hardly any time to speak to each other and express each other's feelings. The family contact time has gone down. At that point of time, hypothalamo-pituitary adrenal axis, it's an axis which handles stress, it breaks down. And when it breaks down, there's a cortisol rain in the brain. When there's a cortisol rain in the brain, what happens is the entire mind orchestra goes for a toss. So anger gets converted into aggression, aggression gets converted into humiliation, and people might vent out on the roads, inside the family, at workplaces, with their hands and feet and also their heart. So this is what it is.
Yeah.
Interrupting this cycle and helping people to understand stress much better, which means don't wait for the emotions to build up. Don't wait for the negative emotions to build up. Release it every day. Resolve it every day, and don't allow it to explode when you are in a miserable state. So
That's a great point,
hygiene,
Dr. Shetty. Yeah. What I'm trying to get to next
day-to-day
is that
emotional
we
hygiene
also
is
need
very
to.
important.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but I want to bring in another aspect here, Dr. Shetty, that, we also perhaps need to destigmatize, anger. There's a difference between anger and aggression.
Absolutely.
And anger sometimes is also a very legitimate emotion. You shouldn't feel bad about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, anger is one of the most important emotions. Anger is energy. Pure anger is love. You get angry at people whom you love. But people mistake aggression for anger. So it's important to understand that expressing feelings is normal. But expressing adjectives, which is feeling plus judgment, is abnormal. Which means if I'm angry with my son or my husband, I would tell him that I'm really angry with you because you did badly in your exams. Or I'm really angry with you because you came late. But if I stop, if I don't express, then this anger gets converted into adjective because there is a judgment. And you use words like horrible. I have never seen somebody like you. You are cheap. You are terrible. So when you move into the space of adjectives, that means your mental health is going for a toss. Those who use a lot of adjectives and sarcasm in their lives have a lot of stored negative energy which needs a lot of catharsis.
So, Doctor, thank you for pointing that out for us. Essentially, Doctor saying, A, be aware of the language you're using. Let's just tell our audiences very quickly where else you can go. So, we've just opened this out. Remember, the doctor just said the healthiest way is to take it out. That's a good thing to be doing. Get an outlet. And these are actually places you can go across the entire country. So, there's in Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Indore. These are all cities that have some kind of either rage room, smash room. You just need to Google it. So do go there. Do exactly what Sunal did. You can see this map on your screens.
That's true. Do that or do whatever gets your goat, guys, as long as there's a release really out there. But on that note, let's move on and let's bring you more stories from India and across the world. China has sent a high-level delegation to North Korea, marking the start of a friendship year. Zhao Liji is leading the Chinese delegation on a 3-day goodwill trip as tensions simmer in the region. The visit signals a strategic move by both China and North Korea amidst shifting geopolitical dynamics.
And a super interesting story coming in from South Florida, where researchers are trying to prevent predatory fish from devouring laboratory-grown coral, and they're grasping at biodegradable straws in an effort to restore what some call the rainforest of the sea. Scientists around the world have been working for years to address the decline of coral reef populations. Just last summer, reef rescue groups in South Florida and the Florida Keys were trying to save coral from rising ocean temperatures.
Lawmakers in Poland have begun debating changes to the country's harsh abortion laws that had grown more restrictive during the 8 years of the conservative nationalist governments. The liberalization access to abortion has been a central campaign promised by the Prime Minister there, Donald Tusk, and a civil coalition that emerged victorious in the elections in October that saw high turnout, partly due to the women's rights issues.
And in the UK, royal courtiers privately put pressure on the Welsh government to ensure that King Charles could not be prosecuted for rural crimes under a new law that ministers had drawn up. Now, the elected politician in the Welsh government, who is in chief, he's the chief legal advisor, was quote-unquote not happy that the king was to be given the special exemption from prosecution, but agreed to it last year.
Apple users, listen up. There is now a fresh batch of threat notifications to users in 92 countries, including India, warning them that there may have been an individual targeted by several mercenary spyware attacks attempting to remotely compromise their iPhone. In the notification, Apple notes that the mercenary spyware attacks, such as those using Pegasus from the NSO group, are exceptionally rare and vastly more sophisticated than the regular cybercrime activity or consumer malware.
And this is a super interesting one. A bill introduced in the US Congress intends to force artificial intelligence companies to reveal the copyrighted material that they're using to make all of their generative AI models. The legislation essentially adds to a growing number of attempts from lawmakers, news outlets, artists. They're all trying to establish how AI firms use creative works of others, like songs, visual art, books, movies, to train their software, and whether those companies are illegally building their tools off copyrighted content.
Meta has unveiled a game-changing upgrade for Facebook Messenger, promising users a sharper visual experience with the introduction of HD photo sharing. With the rollout of 4K resolution capabilities and enhanced compression, users can now enjoy higher quality photos without compromising on a file size or even network constraints.
And up next, a very, very interesting segment for you. What's in a clay pot? The Pele of percussion and the matka beat, globalizing the sound from the south. We're going to bring you all of this in just a few minutes. V. Suresh with the beats of Bharat.
Come right back.